Um, Let me introduce myself. My name is Venkata Prasad. I have more than 17 years of experience in the IT industry. Okay, so here we are going to uh, one second. You are going to learn SQL Server 2022. SQL Server 2022. Okay, this is the latest version, and okay, let's begin the session. Today is the first demo session. Okay, now what is SQL Server? What is SQL Server? SQL Server is a software. SQL Server is a software which is developed by Microsoft. Okay, which is developed by Microsoft to store large amounts of data safely and retrieve it whenever it is needed. Okay, it's a software. What type of software it is? It's a relational database management system. Database management system, that means which is used for managing databases. Okay, what is relational database management system that we are going to see? Okay, first let me write SQL server. SQL server is a relational database management system, RDBMS. Okay, developed by Microsoft. SQL Server is a relational database management system which is developed by Microsoft. Okay, now which is used to, or it is used to store, organize, and manage data. It is used to store, organize, and manage data. Okay, and also it allows users to retrieve or modify it efficiently using structured query language, using a language called SQL, structured query language. Using that language, we can retrieve the data, we can operate on the data. Okay, it is used to store, organize, and manage data. Okay, let me write that point also. It allows users to retrieve retrieve or modify the data efficiently using a language called SQL, structured query language. Okay, so it uses a language SQL to query the data. Okay, now we mentioned here SQL Server is a relational database management system. We know about DBMS, database management system. We know about DBMS, database management system, but we don't know about relational database management system. First, we have to understand what is relational database management system. Okay, for that we need to see the fundamentals first. Okay, if you understand the fundamentals, then you'll understand what is relational database management system and why SQL Server is a relational database management system. Okay, that we are going to learn. Okay, for that, let us try to understand the fundamentals of SQL Server, SQL systems, or database management systems. Okay, first we need to understand the fundamentals. Let us try to understand fundamentals first. Okay, fundamentals of database systems. Fundamentals of database systems. Okay, here first we need to understand what is data. Okay, and the next one is a database and DBMS. That means database management system. Okay, and we will understand finally here RDBMS, relational database management system. Okay, first we will understand this. Okay, now Let me copy the examples here. Let me copy from my previous class. This is the one. Okay. Now try to understand what is data. The first one is data. Okay. Data is a raw fact or figure that has no meaning by itself. Data is a raw fact or a figure that has no meaning by itself. Okay. That means it is unprocessed and unorganized. This is unprocessed and unorganized. Okay. Let us see the example first. Okay. Examples are numbers, names, dates, symbols, and if you arrange the data in a tabular format like this, employee ID, name, salary, all these comes under data only. All these things are data only. Numbers you take, this is data. Okay, names, data. Okay, dates, data, symbols, data. Okay, even if you arrange the data in tabular format, this is also data. Okay, but the thing is, what we are saying is it is unprocessed. It is unprocessed. That means if actually if we understand by seeing these numbers, okay, if you understand these numbers, what we understand, these are just numbers. It is not telling anything. Okay, it is not telling anything. And names, it is not telling it. These are just names. That's it. Okay, and so here we have one more thing, information. We have one more thing, information. There is a slight difference between data and information. Slight difference between data and information. Here, information is processed data that has meaning and it is useful for decision making. Information is processed and that has a meaning and it is useful for decision making. Here, what we are saying, it has no meaning by itself. It has no meaning by itself. What you will understand, these are just numbers, that's it. These are just names, that's it. And dates, symbols, this is just data, that's it. This is just a raw fact. This is unprocessed. What does it mean? It is processed, whereas information is processed. Processing data means refining and converting into something that we can understand and use. Refining and converting the data into something that we can understand and use. That is processing. Okay, whereas data is unprocessed and unorganized. Okay, it is unprocessed. Okay, whereas information is, it is a processed data that has meaning and it is useful for decision making. It is organized, structured and interpreted. Okay, structured and interpreted. See, here we have data, employee ID, name and salary. Employee ID, name and salary, we have this data we have. Okay. From this data, suppose if we summarize the information like this, the average salary of employees is 55,000. If you say this one, that is meaningful, right? So for understanding, here we are justifying, or we are what you call, we are trying to understand this data in this way. The average salary of employees is 55,000. That means we are summarizing the data here. Okay, just by seeing this data, by checking these value salaries, we are saying the average salary of employees is 55,000. This is summarized information. Okay, this is information. This is information, whereas this one is data. Okay, Rahul earns more than Ravi. Rahul earns more than Ravi. Okay, that means it is decision making. You just see Ravi's salary 50,000 and Rahul's salary is 60,000. Okay, it is just data. By observing this data, we are telling Rahul earns more than Ravi. Rahul earns 60,000 is more than 50,000. So Rahul earns more than Ravi, we are saying this. That means decision making. Okay, that means it is processed data and organized data. This is information, whereas this is data. This is data and information is processed information. Processed data is called information. That is the difference between data and information. Data and information. Okay. Now, what is a database? What is a database? Now, it is an organized collection of data. Again, organized collection of data. Here we have data and we are saying database is nothing but organized collection of data. Okay. Now, database management system. Database management system. A database management system, it is a software that helps us to create, store, manage, and retrieve data from a database easily and efficiently. Easily and efficiently. A database management software is a software to create, store, manage, and retrieve data from a database easily and efficiently. So it is a doorway or interface, okay, for the databases. It's a software through which only we can manage. Through this database management system, we can communicate with the databases or operate on the database. Through this database management system only, we can communicate with these databases or operate on the databases. Okay, that is database management system. It's a software. It's a software. Whereas database management system contains, or it manages database. What database contains? Data. What type of data? Organized data. Organized data. Okay. Now see, here we have several types of data we have. The main types here we have are qualitative data, quantitative data, structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. Okay, qualitative data, quantitative data. Let me explain these two first. Okay, qualitative data, which describes qualities or characteristics of data, which describes qualities or characteristics. Okay, that means it is descriptive, non-numeric data. This is non-numeric data. The examples are gender, male, which is describing. Okay, department, HR, city, Hyderabad. That means it is descriptive. Qualitative data in the sense descriptive, non-numeric data. Let us see quantitative data. Data that can be measured and expressed as numbers. Data that can be measured and expressed as numbers. That is numerical. Numerical. Okay. Quantitative data. It has two types: discrete data and continuous data. Countable numbers are called discrete data. That means number of students equal to 50. If I say number of students equal to 50, that is countable, right? That means discrete data. Continuous data, that means measurable. It can take any value. That means salary equal to 50,000. Temperature equal to 40 degrees. Okay, we can measure it. Okay, this is called quantitative data. Okay, but here we have the other three: structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data. Okay, our concern is main with this structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data. Okay, if you understand these things, then you will understand easily what is relational database and non-relational database. These things you will understand. Okay, now let us see what is structured data. Okay, you forget about this first two things. They are just okay for your understanding, but these three are very important: structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. Okay, what is this message? One second. Okay, fine. Now, structured data. Structured data. What is a structured data? Data is highly organized and stored in fixed schema formats. Data is highly organized and stored in fixed schema formats such as rows and columns. That means tabular format only. but organized, highly organized and stored in fixed schema formats such as rows and columns in relational databases. What is the use? It is easy to search and analyze using SQL, that is structured data. Okay, suppose here the example, rows and columns in an employee table. Rows and columns in an employee table. Okay, that is structured data. Okay, now unstructured data. Now, data that doesn't follow a predefined structure or format. It doesn't follow a predefined structure or format. Okay, which contains rich information but difficult to organize and analyze. This is unstructured data. That means it doesn't follow a fixed format. Okay, it doesn't follow a predefined structure. Videos, images, PDF files, emails, many things are there that comes under unstructured data. If it doesn't follow a predefined structural format, that is called unstructured data. Whereas structured data in the sense a predefined format or fixed schema format, it follows. Okay, organized in rows and columns, structured data. Now see the fifth one, semi-structured data. Data that is partially organized. You see XML, JSON, logs, API data. If you know XML, it is a very old one. Okay, JSON. Okay, so there is a format for these scripts. Actually, we use tags. Okay, it doesn't follow a strict table structure. But still has some tags. I said tags or markers to separate elements. That is XML, JSON, and API data, NoSQL data, all this comes under semi-structured data. Okay, structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. These things we must understand. Okay, now let us see. Let me show you here. Okay, or let me show you like this. Okay, see here. Here we have data, information, numbers, names, okay, symbols, temperatures, tabular format. Data is in tabular format. Videos we have, documents we have, everything is data. Okay, now come to databases. Here, earlier you see in our schools or colleges, they used to manage everything manually. They used to write everything in the books. Everything they used to maintain manually. Okay, later, after evolution of computers, they started using computers, and they started using Excel sheets to manage data. They used to enter in Excel sheet. They used to use Excel sheets. Okay, after that again they started using some desktop applications, school management softwares. Okay, data management software, they started using desktop applications. Sorry. So internally, they used to have a MS Access database. They used to store everything in the database, not Excel sheet. I'm talking about data MS Access. It's a software. Okay, so they started using desktop applications, standalone applications. In one system only, they can log in into the system. They can enter into the application. They can enter the data into the database. They started using applications. Okay, later with the evolution of web applications, they started using internet applications, web applications. That means they can manage data across the globe. They can manage from where. Okay, not sitting. It is not like we can manage everything remotely also. Okay, that means web applications they started using. These web applications, internet applications here, they communicate with the databases. Web application is nothing but distributed application. I think you might have learned that in your education. Okay, web application. So it communicates with the database management software, database management system. This database management system which manages the databases. You see, Here we have a banking application, bank database is there. Some other database is also there, insurance database, some university database, everything will be managed by a software database management system. A software, it's a software. Okay, they used to maintain everything in the databases. Okay, they can manage the databases. Okay, so through these web applications, we can communicate with the database management system. Right now, now see here, if I open a notepad, okay, and I want to store like this, save as, let me take all test db, okay, dot mdf, test db dot mdf. I want to store that in desktop. Let me select, okay, save, okay, go to desktop. Here you see, this is a database file. You see, SQL Server database primary data file. It's a primary data file. Okay, suppose we have Excel sheet. To work with Excel sheet, what you will do? You have to open the Excel sheet. You have to open the Excel sheet, right? And you have to enter data here, right? In sheet 1, you enter some data. In sheet 2, you enter some other data. Okay, like that you have to work with Excel sheets. Okay, but how do we work with this database files? This is a database file, data file. Okay, so to manage these databases, we require a software. To work with these databases, we need a software. To operate on this database, we need a software, and that database, that software is called as a database management system. That software is called as database management system. 1 second. See, database management system, it's a software. Through this software only we can manage the databases. Okay. Now, DBMS, you understood now. This is database management system. Okay. Now, let us try to understand what is relational database management system. Now, see, here it is relational database management system. Okay. Now, go to data first again. I said data, the main types of data are structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. I explained you that. Structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data. See, structured, unstructured, semi-structured data. Okay. Now, see, what is structured data? See, it contains tables. That means data is organized in tabular formats, rows and columns. Structured data, in the sense, data is organized in rows and columns. That means tabular format. It is a fixed format, fixed schema. Okay. Structured data, in the sense, tabular format. Okay. Rows and columns. Now, unstructured data. See, unstructured data. Movies, audio files, images, emails, documents, PDF files. Okay, so the complete information of these audio files, video files, and everything that we cannot manage like a tabular format. Okay, that is a separate system. This is unstructured data. Now, semi-structured data. Semi-structured in the sense XML, JSON, email metadata, API data, all this comes under semi-structured data. That means structured data we have, unstructured data we have, and semi-structured data we have. Okay. Now our concern is here structured data. Okay. Now come here. Now see, this is a database. Now this is a database. See, this is a database which is accommodating structured data. Means what? Tabular format. Data is in tabular format, rows and columns. Okay, which maintains a relationship between the tables. Relationship between the tables. It maintains relationship between the tables. This is structured data. Since this database accommodating structured data, this is called relational database. Okay. Now you see here, this is a database. Now it is a relational database. Assume that this is a relational database. So to communicate with this database, we need a software. Na? I said what it is, database relational database management system. Okay, here also we have a software to manage what type of databases, relational databases. What it contains, structured data. Since it accommodates structured data, the database is treated as a relational database, and a software is designed to manage these relational databases is called relational database management system. Relational database management system, which is used to manage the relational databases which accommodates structured data. What is structured data? Data will be organized in tabular format. That is about relational database management system. It has a security. To log in into this system, database management system, you have to give your user ID and password. Then only you can log in into your database management system and you can manage these softwares. Okay, you can have multiple databases. You see, multiple databases. It has a security. It has a security. After entering user ID and password only, you can enter into your database management system. Okay, here it is relational database management system. Okay, now what about the other two? Unstructured data, semi-structured data. Unstructured, it deals with videos, photos, audio files, many things are there. This we cannot, very difficult to organize this. It is very difficult to organize this. And semi-structured is also same, XML, JSON, okay? But to manage these kind of softwares, we have one more database management system that is called as NoSQL database management system. NoSQL, that means not only SQL. See, it is a database which is accommodating unstructured data and semi-structured data. That's why it is NoSQL database. This is NoSQL databases. Okay, and to manage these databases, a software is designed that is called as NoSQL database management system. Okay, so through this software we can manage NoSQL database. It is not a relational database. This is a relational database. This is NoSQL databases. That means unstructured data, semi-structured data. Here this is structured data. Okay, here relational database management system. Here we have NoSQL database management system. Okay, now it also has user ID and password. You have to enter user ID and password, then only you can log in and manage all these things. Okay, that is about relational database management system and NoSQL database management system. Okay, now the same thing here we have. Now types of data we have seen. Okay, now what is database? What we try to understand, database is a collection of data that we understood. Now next one is, let me go to the notepad. Evolution of database management softwares, database management system. Okay, evolution of database management systems. In 1960s, flat file system was introduced. Initially, flat file system was introduced. That means comma separated values, .csv files. Okay, notepads, everything. They used to manage everything in the text pad. Okay, so flat file system .cs comma separated values we can manage. Okay, flat file system was introduced in 1960s. Okay, again in 1970s, hierarchical and network databases came into the market. Hierarchical and network databases came into the market. Okay, now here actually this hierarchical network database, they maintain tree-like structure. Okay, parent child relationship they used to maintain. This is about hierarchical network databases. In 1980s, relational databases came into the market. RDBMS, just now I explained about that. relational database management system. Okay, now here what I said, we can manage the relational databases and they contain relationship, they maintain relationship between the tables. That is called relational database management system. Okay, now it contains structured data. It contains structured data. We can maintain relationship between the tables. Okay, in 2000, web technology started and they started using big data also. Use data we can store and no SQL. Along with this, no SQL came into the market. I explained about that. That means unstructured data, semi-structured data also we can manage. With the web technologies, they started using these things. And 2010, cloud technologies, they started using cloud technologies. Okay, slowly they started using cloud technologies. And cloud technologies, Azure, AWS and all, everything they started. So in 2000 they came into the market and companies slowly started, they started moving towards the cloud technologies. Okay, in 2020, artificial intelligence came into the market. Okay, real-time data, current data they started using, and they also started using multimodal databases. Multimodal databases, the databases they started using. Okay, now here in multimodal databases, many things came into the market. Snowflake came into the market, Databricks came into the market, and Cosmos DB, it is from Microsoft Azure, which has came into the market. Okay, all these comes under multimodal databases. Okay, this is about evolution of database management system. These are different softwares. Okay, now RDBMS, Relational Database Management System, it is our main concern. Okay, which came into the market when? In 1980s, it has came into the market. Okay, now what is Relational Database Management System? Now we are trying to understand that. Okay, RDBMS is a type of database management system that stores information in a structured format. Again, you see structured format using tables made of rows and columns. The term relational means that the data stored in different tables is logically connected to each other using keys, primary keys and foreign keys. Okay, that means tables are logically connected with each other using keys, primary keys, foreign keys, and everything. Here, what does it mean? Relational, maintaining relationship between the tables, logical connection between the tables. Okay, and the idea of RDBMS was introduced by E.F. Codd. Okay, he introduced RDBMS concept. He is a computer scientist. Okay, he used to work in IBM company. Okay, now he only defined 12 well-known principles called Codd's rules. 12 well-known principles, 12 rules called Codd's rules, which describe the features a database must have to be considered a fully functional RDBMS. If a database management system, if it satisfies these 12 rules, then we can call it as a perfect or a fully functional RDBMS software, relational database management system. It has to follow these 12 rules. Who introduced it? E.F. Codd introduced. He was a computer scientist at IBM. He used to work there. Okay, now a database system that satisfies all these rules is considered as a complete RDBMS. Okay, and these are all the rules. These are all the 12 rules here. Okay, it has to satisfy these rules. Okay, now see the first rule. I will explain first two rules. No need to understand all these things. First, if our intention is to understand what exactly RDBMS is, because learning SQL means learning RDBMS. Because in the market, we have many relational database management systems. What we have, SQL Server we have, DB2 we have, Oracle, it's a relational database management system. Okay, MySQL, it's a relational database management system. That means if you understand what relational database management system so that you can work on remaining softwares also. Here we are trying to learn SQL Server. It's a relational database management system. That means if you understand SQL Server, then tomorrow if you have opportunity to work on MySQL or Oracle, you can work easily. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say here. RDBMS is mandated to understand what exactly it is we are trying to understand. Okay, now see the first rule one, information rule. Rule one is information rule. What it says is all data should be stored in tables. The first rule it is saying all data should be stored in tables, tabular format, right? See here, employee table we have. See, employee ID, e-name, job, employee ID, e-name, job we have. Okay, now we have data here. 101 A, manager, 102 B, salesman, 103 C, account. These are the names. Okay, we have 3 records here. See, this employee ID, employee name, job, we call them as columns. Okay, employee ID is a column, employee name is a column, job is a column. We have 3 columns here. Columns, okay, or fields. We call it as a fields. Okay, employee ID is a field, employee name is a field, job is a field, or attributes. We can call them as attributes also. Employee ID is an attribute, e-name is an attribute, job is also an attribute. Okay, these are just columns. Now what about data? This is a row, we call it as a row. These are rows, 3 rows are there. This is a record, we can call it as a record also. This is a record, we have 3 records, or tuple, this is a tuple. Okay, we have 3 tuples here. Okay, we can call them as a row or rows. Records are tuples. Okay, tuple, record, rows means data. Columns, fields, attributes means structure. We are talking about columns. Okay, that is employee table. We have taken it as an example here. All data should be stored in tables. Here we have data in tabular format. Okay, now here column in the sense what? Collection of values. These are the columns. 103 is a column. C is employee name. Account name is a name of the job. Salesman is job. Manager is a job. That means column is what? Job is a column which contains manager, salesman, accountant, we say, right? That means these are the values. These are just values. Okay, so that means what is a column? Collection of values belong to one field. This is a field. Job is a field. So collection of values belong to one field is nothing but a column. Column in the sense collection of values belong to one field. Okay, A, B, C. These values belong to one field, e-name. 101, 102, 3, 103 belongs to employee ID. Okay, now rows. Collection of field values is called a row. That means this is a row. These are a field values. Employee ID field value, employee name field value, job field value. Collection of these field values is nothing but a row. Okay, now what is the table? Collection of rows and columns. Collection of rows and columns. See, these are the rows, and these are columns. Employee ID, employee name, job are the columns. Okay, collection of rows and columns is nothing but database. Collection of table. Now table, database in the sense collection of tables. Table contains collection of rows and columns. Now database contains collection of tables. Okay, that is database. Okay, now second rule, guaranteed access rule. Okay, now what it is saying is every table must contain primary key to identify the records uniquely. Every table must contain a primary key to identify the records uniquely. Okay. Now see, we have one more table here. We have one more table here. Here, employee ID, employee name, job title, salary, date of joining. We have 5 columns here. We have 3 records here. We have 3 records. Okay. What it is saying, table must contain a primary key to identify records uniquely. Now try to understand. First assume employee ID is not there. Employee ID is not there. Assume that employee ID is not there. Just we have employee names, job titles, salary, date of joining. Only 4 fields we have. Okay. You see, under job name Rakesh V, 2 times we have. Job title also we have software engineer, and salary 30,000. Date of joining is also same. That means here we have 3 records. We have, this is employee table na? We have only 3 records. That means suppose in a company we can have thousands of employees now. Suppose if we have 10,000 thousands of employees, okay, let us try to understand. There is a chance of having the same name na? There is a chance of having a Rakesh V. Okay, multiple employees, they can have same name na? Rakesh V. Same job title, software engineer, same date of joining they can have, same salary they can have. Okay. Now to identify a record, then what should I use? I want to update this record. If I take employee name, then what happens? It will update 2 records. Software engineer, its job title. If I consider this one to identify this record uniquely, I cannot identify uniquely because I have another record also with the software engineer. Job title is software engineer, and salary also I cannot take. Date of joining is also I cannot consider this. So uniquely I cannot identify a record in this case. So to avoid, to get rid of this problem, what we have is employee ID. Employee ID. Employee ID 101, 102, 103. Okay, that means it is unique number. Unique number only we will maintain to identify each record uniquely. To identify each record uniquely. Now this is a primary key. Now this is a primary key. What is the use of having primary key? With which we can identify a record uniquely. That is called a primary key. Guaranteed access rule. What it is saying, table must contain a primary key to identify records uniquely. Okay. Here we are using employee ID. Government organizations, if you take Aadhaar number, they can use it now. So one Aadhaar number will be allotted only for one person only. It cannot be assigned for another person, right? So it is a primary key. They can use it as a primary key. Account number, banks use account number. Okay, PAN number, we can use it as a primary key. Election department, voter ID we can use it as a primary key with which we can identify record uniquely, or serial number also. You can maintain 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Serial number, unique numbers you can maintain. With that serial number, you can uniquely identify a record, right? So that is the purpose of having a primary key in the table. Primary key in the table. Okay. Now let us try to understand the RDBMS features. RDBMS features. Okay. Now see, easy to access and manipulate data. Easy to access and manipulate data. Less redundancy. Duplication of data. Redundancy means what? Duplication of data. Less redundancy. Okay. This is called normalization. Normalization. Okay. Less redundancy and more security guarantees data quality or consistency. Guarantees data quality or consistency. Data integrity, we call it as data integrity. Okay, data integrity, and it supports transactions. These are the features of RDBMS. Okay, let us see one by one. Now, easy to access and manipulate data. Easy to access and manipulate data. Now, actually here In RDBMS, database manipulation means working with existing data inside the table. Working with existing data inside the table. Okay, that means what? Adding data, modifying data, that means changing data, deleting data, that means removing data. Okay, actually, before RDBMS came into the market, earlier, people they used to write big programs, very lengthy programs, long programs. They used to write long programs, even for inserting record, for updating a record, even for deleting a record. They used to write huge lines of code using traditional programming. In those days, in those days, we have COBOL, C language. Okay, those days it was famous, very famous. Okay, COBOL and C language also. Okay, they used to write huge lines of code to program with the databases. Huge lines of code they used to write. Okay, not even for small tasks also they used to write big code, and they must be expert in those programming languages. They must be expert in those programming languages. But after RDBMS came into the market, everything became easy. Everything became easy. So instead of writing long programs, they started writing commands called SQL queries. SQL queries. Okay. SQL in the sense structured query language. Okay, we will see that structured query language. They started writing SQL queries. Okay, very simple. It became very easy for them to write small queries instead of writing big lines of code or huge lines of code using COBOL and C language. Okay, that means easy to access and manipulate data. With it is a feature of RDBMS. Okay, less redundancy. Now, less redundancy. What does it mean? Here, you see here, I have employee table here. Employee ID, e-name, salary, department number, name, location I have. Okay. Suppose here I have 1000 records. Here I have 1000 records. Okay. Now for all these 1000 records, you see department name, location, these details are repeated. Department details are repeated. That means we are talking about what? The second feature, less redundancy. That means here we have redundancy. We have a problem called redundancy problem. We have a redundancy problem. Okay. Suppose tomorrow if I want to change the department name for department number 10, I have to update all these 1000 records. I have to update every record. If I have 1000 records, I have to update this one, department number, name, and location also. Suppose if I want to change HR department location to some Chennai or Bangalore, I have to update all the records. Okay. So to get rid of this problem, RDBMS gave a solution for it. It has given a solution for it. What is that? What it is saying is, create multiple tables. Instead of maintaining all the data in a single table, what it is saying is create multiple tables. That means splitting of tables. Splitting of table. Here, that means the same information. Now you see employee table and also department table. See here, employee table. What it has? Employee ID, e-name, salary, and department number. We must have department number. We have to mention this. Okay, I will tell you the purpose what it is. Department table. For department table, see department number, we have department name, we have location also, we have. Okay, these three fields, 10, 20. For 10, HR department. Okay, and its location is Hyderabad. For 20, department name is IT and its location is Bangalore. Okay, now to identify these records, we have a primary key, and that primary key is here department number. Department number is the primary key here. Primary key. It is the primary key. Okay. Now with this primary key, I can identify each record uniquely. Okay. But you have to maintain this department number here in the employee table. See, department number we have 10, 10, 10. Okay. Like this we can maintain in employee table. What is the use? To maintain a relationship between the tables. We have to use uh, relations concept here using primary key and foreign key. Whichever the key we use here to identify a record here uniquely, that is called primary key, and we must use this primary key in employees table here, department number, and this becomes foreign key. Now this becomes foreign key. The same column we are maintaining department number in employee table. This is called foreign key. That means we are maintaining relationship between the tables. That is the main concept here. What is relational database management system? Which maintains relational databases. What does a relational database contains? Structured data. What it is exactly? It maintains relationship between the tables. Okay, the table data will be in rows and columns. That is the concept. Okay, now, so here there is no redundancy. You see, in the first table you see redundancy is there. Now we don't have any redundancy here. Now easy to update. Now I want to change this to Hyderabad to Chennai. I can change it here easily. Okay, I need not change all the 1,000 records. See, I simply change here. Right? Okay, so that is the advantage of having multiple tables, even for deleting also. Suppose if you lose this data, if anyone asks you what is the location of HR department, then you cannot say anything because information is not there. Okay, if you lose this information employee table, we have a department table, and by seeing this department table we can say department number 10 and its name is HR, department name is HR, and its location is Hyderabad. Very simple to answer, right? So even for deletion also it is very easy to delete. Okay, to delete this information we have to update all the records, but if you want to delete, simply you can delete here. Okay, that is the advantage of having multiple tables, and this is one feature. Another feature of RDBMS, more security. See, this is SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, so to log in into this database management system, relational database management system, I have to use my user ID and password. I have to give them. Okay, then only I can connect to SQL Server. It is connected. Now it is connected. So RDBMS provides more security. And next one is guarantees data quality or consistency. RDBMS allows only valid data. That means correct data. What does it mean? See the here example employee table, employee ID 100, employee name A, salary I have 5,000. See, okay, but you observe these things. Okay, it has to allow only valid data. That means correct data. See, employee ID is repeated. That means duplicate ID. Employee name, here we have A. We don't have employee name here. Salary, you see, 5,000. Here minus 2,000. It should not be like that. It should be positive, right? So it allows only valid data. That means it doesn't allow this kind of inconsistent data, invalid data. For that we use data integrity concept. data integrity concept. Okay, RDBMS provides rules and constraints to ensure only valid data is stored. Okay, constraints concept we have that we will use. Okay, so RDBMS provides constraints. This comes under data integrity. Okay, data integrity and quality. What about quality? Only correct data, meaningful data only we get. Meaningful data only we get. Here we have 5000. This is positive number. That is okay. Whereas in the second record minus value we have. It should not be like that. Okay. Now data consistency. Data consistency means data is accurate across the system. It must be accurate across the system. See here, employee table, employee number, e-name we have, salary we have, department number we have. Here employee name is A, its number is 1, employee number is, okay. I have one more table, project ID dot development team. Here in this table, I have employee number, employee name, department number, job title, working hours, start date, end date. Here I have employee name A. His employee number is 1, same, see 1. Okay, his employee here it's his department number is 10. Here also 10. That means maintaining consistency. That means data is accurate and it is same across all the systems. That is called as data consistency. Okay. The other feature is supports data sharing. It supports data sharing. Data sharing. What does it mean? RDBMS allows multiple users and applications to access and use the same data at the same time. Right? So sharing of data in a company, one developer works only one project, na? Multiple developers work, right? So RDBMS gives sharing. That means multiple developers can work on same data. Multiple users can work on same data. Multiple users can use same data. So that is about data sharing. It supports data sharing. And last one is transactions. Transactions concept we have. Okay, transaction in the sense it doesn't belong to money transactions. So here we have a separate session for transactions. Here all operations must succeed together or none should happen. Here transaction in the sense is single unit of work. Transaction is nothing but single unit of work. Okay, it is a group of one or more SQL operations. Group of SQL operations. Insert, update, delete. We have multiple operations now. It is a group of operations is nothing but transaction. Okay. Here we have ACID properties also. Whenever we discuss about transactions concept, I will explain about that. But here, transaction in the sense, it has a certain rules. Okay, that means transfer is there, bank transfer is there, bank transfer is there. Transferring amount from A's account to B's account, 1000 rupees we are trying to transfer. Okay, so in this transfer, two operations are involved. The first one is, in the first operation, it has to deduct amount from 1000 from A's account, and also it has to add the same amount 1000 rupees to account B. Account B. These two must be succeed together. Then only transaction will be succeeded. Okay, if anything goes wrong in one step, it has to cancel the complete transaction. It has to roll back the complete transaction. Okay, that is about transaction. It supports RDBMS supports transactions also. Okay, so these are all the features of RDBMS. Okay, these are all the features of RDBMS. Okay, now see what softwares we have in RDBMS. What softwares we have? RDBMS softwares. SQL Server, which is developed by Microsoft. Oracle, which is developed by Oracle Corporation. Okay. MySQL, which is also from Oracle Corporation. DB2, this is another RDBMS, IBM. PostgreSQL. This is PostgreSQL Global Development Group. It has developed PostgreSQL, and RDS, which is from Amazon. Okay, and one more thing, NoSQL databases we also have now. These are relational database management systems. For NoSQL, MongoDB, Cassandra. These two are the examples for NoSQL. Okay. Now, after RDBMS, we also have ORDBMS, object-oriented relational database management systems also we have. Okay. Here the concept is very simple. Actually, ORDBMS in the sense relational database management features as well as it supports object-oriented programming features. That means it supports both relational database management system and OOPS features also it supports. That is ORDBMS. SQL Server, Oracle, Postgre supports ORDBMS features, but not completely. They are partial ORDBMS systems. They are partial ORDBMS systems, object relational database management systems. Okay. We also have one more thing, object oriented relational database management system, object oriented OORDBMS. It is hybrid database model. It is hybrid database model. RDBMS features plus object oriented programming features it supports. Okay. So this is about OORDBMS. Okay. Actually, the thing is, we have a batch at 10 o'clock. We have a batch at 10 o'clock. Okay. Just 3 days ago, it was started. 3 days ago, it was started. Now, we also started 11 o'clock batch. Okay. But the thing is, it is for demo only. Today is the first demo session. Tomorrow and the day after tomorrow also we have two more sessions, two more demo sessions we have. Okay. So, but the thing is, from probably from Wednesday next week, okay, we will join these two batches and your class will be at 10 o'clock only, not 11 o'clock. These are just demo sessions. These are just demo sessions. Okay, that's why I'm telling you that our class starts at 10 o'clock. Okay, so class will be up to 1.5 hours or sometimes 1 hour 45 minutes like that also. So it is just for demo session. We are conducting demos at 11 o'clock, but actual timings are 10 to 11:30. Okay, so this is about the first demo session we completed. So if you want what you call curriculum, course curriculum and all, you will get from whom DurgaSoft, or else I will share with you the link. Okay. Let me know if you have any doubts so that we can continue this tomorrow. Okay. Sachin, Baspal and Anita.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
please. Okay. No doubts?
No, sir.
No, nothing. I mean, say, but ORDBMS and ORDBMS both look same, right?
Difference is there. See, we have a number of database management systems. Okay, in future we may get different database, but as of now we have SQL Server, Oracle, and DB2. Many databases are there. Okay, why I explained ORDBMS. In future we may get a lot of differences. Okay, lot of features we get in database management systems. That's why I explained these two also. Okay.
Both here having the same definition, no?
Same
ORDBMS
definition, but the difference is there. Difference is no need to bother about that. Difference is there. Okay. Now, tomorrow is the second demo session, and today is first. So till Saturday we have demo sessions. Till Saturday only we have demo sessions. Earlier I used to we used to conduct 4 demo sessions, but because of some reasons we are conducting only 3 demo sessions. So you can join tomorrow and after tomorrow also. We have 2 more demo sessions. If you have
Demo session, you will be teaching some another topic or the same things tomorrow.
SQL Server, I want to start SQL Server tomorrow. Today we
Okay.
try to understand what is relational database management system.
And
Okay.
one more thing, like Saturday I will not be able to take. So if it is possible, then have it on Monday, the third one.
Actually, a class will be there. You can have access to, you will get these links in YouTube also, or DurgaSoft, they will send you the link, demo sessions.
Acha, recording. Okay, fine.
Recordings you will get. And in course also, you will get access to all the videos. Okay.
Cool.
If you, in case if you miss any class, you can access to your videos. You can see yeah, whenever you want. You can watch them. Okay. And the practical sessions will be there, and I will give you the databases and all. Yourself only you can create. I will tell you how to do them. And tomorrow I will start SQL Server, the main concept. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, what will be the days of the class?
Actually, 40 days.
No, 40 days, fine. Like which days in a week?
So 6 days.
Monday
All,
to Saturday.
the Monday to
If it is
Saturday
need,
class.
yes, Monday to Saturday. Sometimes if it is needed, I will conduct on Sunday also. Rare cases. In rare
So we
cases.
will have continuous 40 days. Matlab, not like 3 days in a week, not like that.
No, not like that.
Okay.
Continuous.
Continuous. Okay,
Yes,
good.
continuous.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Any other doubts? Fine. Okay, we can continue this tomorrow. See you tomorrow then.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.